Stop calling micro-budget filmmaking exploitation. This is a Substack article from the Substack Punk Rock Producing by a guy named Donny Broussard. And I don't know him. I don't know the Substack, but an old film friend of mine from the film school. In fact, we went to school with her. Her name was Brittany. Brittany Severance. Do you remember going to school with her in our MFA courses?
I'm sure I'd know her if I saw her.
She was very nice. She was, a fellow indie filmmaker. And she shared this on Facebook. And what it is it's this writer defending the idea that like you're allowed to make a movie with other people for no money. And I'm like, well, of course you are. What's the fucking problem?
Like Lindsay Ellis.
If you're looking to work on a film set, do not work for free.
Exactly. And wouldn't you know it? It's what he's doing. He's pushing against the types of people who think everything is a top-down labor exploitation, haves and have-nots, and management and staff. For those who don't know what a micro-budget film is, it's like, well, what's micro versus low? A low-budget movie could be anywhere between, a few $100,000 or $1 million or even like $2 million, like a very low-budget movie as compared to most movies you're going to see. Micro-budget would be like the endeavor is to try to not spend any money at all. Now, you can't do that. Like movies cost money, but the goal would be to get the budget to be as close to zero as possible.
You got to reduce your I need list to very little. Because if you start going, well, I want to do this, but I need first a crew, I need a budget, I need set. I mean, the longer that list gets, the further away you're going to accomplish that. Right. So you got to shrink that down to I need nothing. I've got everything here. If you can do that, then you're off and running.
Yeah, you're pulling favors. You're getting people to work for the love of the game. Maybe you can pay some people something, but most of the time, everyone's just pitching in.
Compensation is in food at best.
I hope you like Quiznos or Taco Bell because that's all because they're closest.
You try to feed people and show your gratitude and stuff. But at the same time, anybody involved is doing so consensually. It's not a business venture. That's the point. It's a group project. It's let's get together during this period of time and try to make something together.
The guy in the article said it's like a garage band. It's like you're coming together into this garage to play. You're not expecting like to pay each other or whatever. You can't. It's just an endeavor you do together.
Yeah. So he says, I've noticed lately quite a few creatives talking negatively about micro budget filmmaking, calling it exploitation and morally wrong in many ways. I'm like, I'm not letting you get away with it. Morally wrong to get together and just like make something.
Well, yeah, it's one thing if like a huge corporation has like an unpaid internship. It's like that's a different thing than a filmmaker who probably has no money trying to get help from other creatives to make something.
Well, an independent film being made by you and your friends or whatever, like on a very low level, you got to also consider like that's a very bad business plan, making a movie. The movie will not see a return, very likely. It's very, very unlikely that you're going to sell it for $100,000 and be able to pay everybody.
Because if I don't get that 45 grand, man, I will not be shit.
But even like a $50,000 budget, right? Which like our friend Liam, like he's done a movie for that, or like Jimmy's in that ballpark, I think. That's still micro budget. 50,000 is as micro budget as 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever a movie would cost to make these days. That's another kind of tenet of micro budget filmmaking is every dollar you spend is on screen. That's kind of the idea. And at $50,000 and I don't know, 10 to 20 people who are helping make the movie, like nobody's making a salary. If they did, it would 50,000 would be an anemic salary for one person. Yeah. So there's no money. There's just not a lot of money to go around in the first place. So that would go quickly to things like locations or props or whatever, transportation, whatever the hell it is that you're having to do for your movie.
There's location costs, permits, union costs, insurance, lawyers, costumes, special effects, generators for electricity.
So he goes on, he says, when I sat down to write my thoughts about this so-called exploitation, I thought about trying my best to soften my feelings, try to understand where the negative feelings are coming from. I'm like, don't do that. You know damn well where they're coming from. It comes from like normally people who are not all that prolific themselves, right? Like are the people like, are they going out and taking a big swing and trying to make a big movie by themselves? No. He says, I want to draw a line in the proverbial sand about ownership, sustainability, and the right of people to build films outside of the traditional labor structure without being treated like unethical monsters. I have not yet encountered this in my life where somebody's like, if you endeavor to make a low budget film for next to nothing with volunteers, you're an unethical monster. Like people have gotten kind of bit by this bug of like everything has to have money flying around, and like money is this very controversial thing that frightens everybody. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, people are obsessed with power dynamics, and so they see power dynamics everywhere, even when there are none. Like somebody making an indie film, by and large, like with a micro budget, is not making any money, doesn't have money, and everyone's on the same plane basically.
Yeah, because the presumption would have to be that there is money and it's being withheld or hoarded. It's being unjustly not shared.
I have absolutely no fucking money.
And just because there's somebody in charge of the project doesn't mean doesn't mean there's a power dynamic.
I'm like offended that this article even has to exist.
He's in creative circles, so it comes up a lot. I assume.
I mean, I'm glad that he told them to go fuck themselves. I think that's the right answer to this particular question, because he goes on to basically say, well, hey, wait a minute, it's consensual, it's volunteer. If you don't have to participate. Here are the conditions. And I'm like, yeah, right on. Yeah. It's pretty much like the end of it, right? There's not much else to say.
Yeah, because he's saying, it's like, oh, and if the micro budget film didn't exist, then the only thing you can make are like things inside the system. That doesn't make creativity flourish, you know? Well,
it reminds me a bit of like some of the economic policy around like private businesses versus giant corporations, where like they're equally regulated in some cases. And it's kind of like, well, you should probably like let up on the private business, and you should probably like have different standards, because otherwise what you're going to do is just like strangle private business, and then the only people that can absorb all your regulation are going to be giant corporations. Like, is that what? Yeah. That's surely not like your intended outcome, right?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting too that, it's sort of like the more socialistic types probably saying this, that it's coercion, that it's exploitation, but they're the ones that want to like impose like a very like capitalistic system onto something that's otherwise kind of like communistic.
Don't work for free. You don't have to work for free. You should be making at least $100 a day as an entry-level person.
It's the people that are probably more like entrepreneurial that are like, we want it to be more communistic. It's like this funny role reversal.
Yeah, it is funny. No, it's true. It's like, oh, so it should be in the system where like there's like everyone's getting paid and there's a structure, and it's like, wait, what?
He goes on and he says, what frustrates me is the assumption that people participating in micro budget films are somehow too naive to understand what they're agreeing to. Is that a claim? Are they saying like, oh, if you, I don't know, that like if you volunteer to act in a movie for your friend, you're a sucker? Like, well, I don't understand the argument.
Don't do it, even if they're your friends.
Or that you've been manipulated.
Yeah, again, I think it's just the power dynamic thing going haywire. It's just like they see it everywhere, and so they're gonna be like, you're in charge of a movie. You're a tyrant.
That's so bad, dude. Like that, to me, that's like, that's so philosophically backwards to be like, anybody who takes charge and says, I'm going to go do something, like, that's somebody not to be trusted. They're up to something. They're in charge of something. It's like, they're not even in charge. Like, that's not a company. That's just a guy saying, I've got a camera, I'm gonna go make something. I don't know. Like, don't you participate in hobbies from time to time? Like, if my daughter participates in an after school program, should she be paid? I think it's nuts.
It's like the kick-assiest stuff, you know? It's like, just because Doug is like in charge and has a vision and is moving forward, it doesn't mean he's not like, he's not going to screw up and accidentally not feed people.
Yeah. He's not management material, folks.
I'm not a business person, and I don't handle like any of that, especially because I think that will get in the way of the creative stuff.
It's one of the funniest things I find about YouTube in general is, I've said it for years, I think there's too much money in YouTube. I think YouTube's sharing too much of their pie, because you end up with channels that suddenly are bringing in a lot of money and suddenly find themselves being entrepreneurs that didn't even necessarily mean to become entrepreneurs.
Not equipped to be.
They have to run an organization basically. And it's like, the guy who shits on games, they can't run an organization, Again, I mean, it's putting yourself through your own little boot camp of like, I've written a script and we're going to try to shoot it, is, I think, a very valuable experience. Mm-hmm. And if you really want to make me very unpopular, I also think that everybody has gone a little too far with the notion that you could never possibly be compensated with exposure. So that's you see that online all the time, like, oh, paid with exposure. Fine. Point taken. That there are many situations where there's some douche that's really, the exposure's not going to do anything for you. It's not worth your time. But that's like a judgment call for you to make, right? That's not like just like always the rule. That's for you to say, this actually won't expose me to the next opportunity that I want. Therefore, it's not worth my time. Whereas if a major podcaster invites you onto his show and it's going to have millions of viewers, he's probably not going to pay you to come on the show. You'll probably be eager to go on that show for the exposure.
Isn't there a whole economy based on who's been on Joe Rogan? Like every one of them has a podcast now, and they all are making money now.
Yeah, it's probably the case that too many times some bullshit employer, scammer, somebody looking for free labor was like, it's good for your resume. It's good for exposure. And like, fair enough. But that doesn't mean that's always untrue, or that you would never take an unpaid internship. Like an unpaid internship at the right company could make a very big difference in your life. People are searching for jobs. They don't know where to find them. They don't know how to make right now, especially with AI fucking applicants and AI search results and stuff. You need to have relationships. Like that's what's going to cut through the noise. So you might take a 3-month unpaid internship to learn a skill and meet some people, right? Like that's kind of not everything has a payroll attached to it.
Yeah, I took an unpaid internship for a while in Boston. Oh, God, it was so expensive. And that got me basically into Emerson. And then I used that to get to the Boston Globe. So Boston Globe right here.
That's very frequently the case that like you experiment in some area and that leads you to the next thing, right? That's like as my kid gets older, I really want her to know that you don't have to have like a perfect plan for exactly how you're going to get where you want to go. It's more like go find something that's interesting to you and go be competent in it and see where that leads, because it'll often lead to a relationship or an opportunity, or it puts you in the vicinity of somebody you didn't know you were going to be in the vicinity of, right? Like go be active. Like being active is like one of the most important things you can do.
Just I mean, think of us, like how we're active and how many friendships and lifelong friendships and collaborators we have now because we are just active on YouTube.
Just by making sure we're recording our podcast. Yeah. Same with like Waiting for Nintendo has like a big, kind of like social network of their own now. And just because they get on the microphone, right? Like, it's not to say, I'm sure there's like vanity projects by douchebag filmmakers that are not worth your time. And so like, it's just a judgment call for you. Right. And maybe that's really like, it's so often the case that there'll be one of these kind of social movements around something. And it was birthed in a kernel of truth, or there was something that was being abused or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but don't be so obtuse as to say like, well, that's it for, that's it for the hobby. That's it for ever volunteering to do something fun with each other.
It basically means that a micro budget film can't exist if you're just going to school marmot out of existence.
I haven't made like a feature film in a long time, so this is not a problem that I currently have. But back in my day, there was a little bit of like, we want to look more professional, or I only do union or something. Well, actually, that was very common. Like, I'd go cast somebody and they were like, is this a union shoot? And I'd be like, no. And they'd be like, oh, okay. I'm just doing union right now. And I was like, okay. And that was it. Like, nobody was like, fuck you in your non-union shoot. There wasn't anything like that. But I wonder if you just wanted to pick up a camera and go make something, and you were in like a metropolitan area, would you hit a lot of people that were like, ugh, exploiters, slave laborers?
Those guys at Red Cow, they're on top of the hierarchy.
Yeah. At the very top of the mountain. Exactly.
Nobody cares. These movies are terrible.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.